everybody, the Great Dino Ranger here again, back with another review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Jurassic World Hammond Collection Dilophosaurus. Recently picked this guy up from Walmart, and I was super excited to actually get my hands on this. It took me a while to find it, till today. Anyways, yeah, found it. So I guess what I mean by recent, I meant today. Yeah, today I found this new Hammond Collection Dilophosaurus, and I'm really excited to take a look at it. This is definitely a dinosaur that I saw after seeing the Beyond the Gates episode and just seeing a bunch of pictures. I'm a huge fan of taking like toy photography of my Jurassic Park dinosaurs out in like wilderness places, and these Hammond Collection figures are really good for that because of their amount of detail and articulation. So these work really well for pictures. But yeah, basically the main gist of it is I'm really excited to have a Hammond Collection Dilophosaurus, a well-articulated Dilophosaurus, and I can't wait to start taking a look at this thing. So a brief look at the packaging here. This Dilophosaurus marks my first Hammond Collection dinosaur of a small scale. The only ones I have are the Parasaurolophus and Baryonyx, and those are medium. This is my first small scale. So take a look at the packaging here. We got the awesome Jurassic Park T-Rex skeleton logo up there. All this like machinery, metal looking objects here. Then we got the beautiful Hammond Collection logo with the Amber and John Hammond. Dilophosaurus, Mattel. On the side here, we got the awesome Jurassic Park logo because this is what this color scheme anyway is from. An awesome render of the Dilophosaurus. Hammond Collection, and on the back here we get Jurassic Park and then the Hammond Collection title again. Then we get a beautiful render of the figure looking awesome as usual. Then we got a cool little bio here. I really love how they're adding all these bios to their Hammond Collection dinosaurs. It makes them feel a little bit more, I guess, collector based, but it's also giving the person who buys this toy a brief history of what this dinosaur or character is in the movies. So we got a picture of Dilophosaurus here from the movie attacking Dennis Nedry. It says Dilophosaurus, at first appearing unassuming and curious, the Dilophosaurus is severely misjudged by Dennis Nedry and ends up derailing his nefarious plot to escape after showing little interest in playing fetch. I think that's really cool. That's super awesome. Obviously, the Dilophosaurus did not have an interest in playing fetch and rather eat Dennis instead. So yeah, really cool looking bio there. That's basically it for the packaging, nothing too much. Let's go ahead and break this figure out of the box and take a closer look at it. Alright, and here is the Hammond Collection Dilophosaurus out of the packaging. And this is a really nice figure, and I'm probably going to say this right now, but I think this is the best Dilophosaurus that Mattel has made, in my opinion. I mean, they've come out with a bunch of great looking Dilophosauruses, whether it be paint or articulation or even just action feature, but I think this Dilophosaurus right here definitely wins the award for being the best Dilophosaurus from them. And I'll probably get more into that during the review, but just looking at this figure altogether, this is an awesome Dilophosaurus. I think it's a very highly accurate representation of the dinosaur, at least from the first Jurassic Park. Be interesting for Mattel to take on the Dominion Dilophosaurus, because I know that one has a slight redesign, especially in the head, just a tiny bit, and obviously the colors, because I really love the colors on that Dominion Dilophosaurus. But yeah, this figure is really cool so far. I'm really happy I found this. So we'll start off with detail, or the sculpt. So here, taking a look at the head here, this is like the most accurate head sculpt I've seen on a Mattel Dilophosaurus. I think the only time they gave us like an actual movie accurate head, I think was during the Primal Attack toy line back in 2020, that Savage Strike Dilophosaurus with the frill moving action feature. That one had a pretty accurate face, though it was a little bit wide overall, but from the side it was fairly accurate. And the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus had a somewhat accurate one as well, but I think this one definitely beats both of them as being a little bit more accurate. Nice line sculpt work on the crest there, I was going to say frill. And you can see a lot of nice finer scale detail on the dinosaur. Looks really nice. Nostrils are painted good. See this Dilophosaurus head from the front view is definitely really cool. Looks just like the Dilophosaurus from the movie. That's awesome. You can see more of the scale detail on the face there. Even at the bottom, but though you got more like of a wrinkly texture. I think the teeth are also nicely sculpted as well. Yeah, the teeth are pretty nicely sculpted, standard for a Mattel figure. Nicely done. And then getting onto the frill here, this frill is made out of a somewhat softer plastic. It's not as soft as the Amber Collection, but it's a softer material kind of. The texturing is very nice, much like all of the other Dilophosaurus figures that Mattel has given us, though they are more detailed on the Amber Collection and this figure. But yeah, I think that looks really cool. I will say though, I think the frill might be a little bit too small in scale for this Dilophosaurus. I think it should have been at least maybe taller and perhaps wider. I'm not sure, it could be just me, but to me it just looks a little small, but it works for what it is. On the back you can see more of that beautiful texturing because there's no paint back here. Which I'm not sure. I wonder if Dilophosaurus really had color on the back part of the frill from the movie. I didn't notice that. I'll have to go back and rewatch a lot of those scenes to see if it does. And here on the neck you got some nice wrinkly texture. Basically throughout the Dilophosaurus, apart from the head, is all this wrinkly lined skin texture, and the only bit of scales are like on the face here. Here at the bottom, you got some more of that nicely wrinkly texture. You can see here on the arms, and you got that nice scale work on the hands as well. Looking nice. Here's the body. You can see a little bit of the ribs right here. Yeah, looking really, really good. Nice, like, stretch marks from the skin pulling against each other. I guess like when the animal's moving or breathing. Really nice attention to detail. And here on the leg, you got some nice muscle definition all the way throughout. Some nice texturing. And you got some nice scale work on the feet and shin there. Really nicely done. Here's the bottom, nicely sculpted. You got that more skin texture. And here we go on to the tail. It's pretty much the same thing. The tail is made out of a bendy wire, and it's a softer, rubbery plastic material. And here on the other side, it's basically the same for the most part. Yeah, I think it looks really nice. So yeah, the sculpt on this Dilophosaurus is really spot on. Even got some scales or some type of patterning up here on the top. Kind of hard to see, but yeah. Next up, we'll move on to colors. The colors are beautiful on this Dilophosaurus, incredibly accurate. Though there are some things that some other figures have that this one doesn't, primarily the Amber Collection. Some things that the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus has that aren't on here, I will compare when we do comparisons later on. But yeah, the colors are really nice. The frill here, the colors are spot on, looks just like the one from the movie. I do kind of wish this colorful pattern continued all the way to the edge of the frill and not just halfway. Kind of almost seems a little bit more, it's not complete in my opinion. It doesn't feel very complete. Other than that, you got some nice of that creamy color, yellowish color for the underbelly. And you got that nice dark patterning here on the face and a little bit on the crest. And then all the way throughout the body. Doesn't go all the way down the tail, but it's not as distracting as a bunch of other figures. The toe claws and fingernails are nicely painted as well. So yeah, this figure is very well done. And you got some nice brown around the eye socket too. And the eyes are painted very well on mine. Don't know why they gave it a slit pupil instead of a round pupil, but it's okay. I mean, it works for Dilophosaurus, I guess. Though if you want it to be a little bit more accurate or film accurate, I think it would have been better if it had a round pupil instead of a slit pupil. But other than that, this thing looks really good in terms of the color. And then here at the mouth, the teeth are nicely painted. Even on the inside of the mouth, like the tongue and the gums. The roof of the mouth, unfortunately, is not painted, but to me, it won't really take away from anything. So yeah, the colors are really nice on this Dilophosaurus, spot on. Next on, we'll go on to articulation, which is where this figure shines. The Hammond Collection, as well as the Amber Collection figures, are well known not only for their more detailed looks and more paint, but also their amount of articulation they have, which these are perfect for pictures. And if you guys follow me on my Instagram, you can see I have a bunch of pictures on there that I love to take dinosaurs out there and pose them, and these Hammond Collection figures are going to be really good for that. So, articulation, we got a jaw here. Oops. So the jaw can open and shut, very typical for a meat-eating theropod. The head here can swivel all the way around. I'm trying to get a good view of that. So the head can swivel all the way around, and it can go up about that far, and it can go down. So nice little head movements. And then comparison, or going along with the neck here, the neck can also go up, and that can also go down. So you can get some really nice, like, looking down poses, or drinking water, or eating food poses, or staring down at its victim before it sprays its venom pose. So really cool on that. And the arms here at the shoulder, they can move basically 360, and they can also pivot in and out as well. And now these arms right here are very loose. Maybe not totally loose, but they feel fragile. So I recommend for anyone who has this figure to be very careful with these hands. They, especially when you turn them, they're very, very, very loose. They feel very loose. Though they haven't popped out of their sockets yet, which is good. You just gotta be very careful. These can basically go up about that far and down, so basically up and down, and then they can rotate all the way around. So standard kind of like articulation. But I wish they had a wrist articulation. That would have been kind of useful. But, you know, it's good. And then for the legs here at the hips, they can basically move 360 all the way around. And then I believe they can also pivot in and out. Let me see. Yeah, they can pivot in and out a little bit. And then here at the knee, the knee can bend. Just gotta be very gentle. They can be stiff sometimes. And then here, they don't have a articulation at the ankle, which is surprising, but they have one at the foot right here, which the foot can go up about that far and down about that far. So you can get, once you bend this knee back to you can get some nice like walking or running poses. So yeah, that works really well. And nice articulation of the feet there. And the tail, once you attach the tail, that is, because it does come unattached, can move left, right, all that good stuff. It can even go up and down. You can even rotate, but I don't really see a use for doing that. And bonus, it has, like I said, a wire tail, so you can bend it any way you want. Get some nice poses. I like to make sure mine are straight when I'm not using them for pictures or anything like that. There we go. Yeah, so I do love these bendy wires, though I feel like these are gonna like wear down as time goes on, so I gotta be very careful when I use those. Yeah, that's basically it for articulation. A lot of nice poses, not nice, a lot of nice pose potential is what I was trying to say, in this figure, which are really good for taking pictures or displaying on a shelf. The frill is detachable, so you can take off the frill when needed. And it comes with an accessory here. This is the only accessory it came with, which is a closed frill, which is something you just basically stick on the neck, and it looks like it has its frill closed. So here we can see the frill is open, so this is open position. And so now if we take it off, you gotta take it off very, very gently. There we go. So here's the frill. It's very easy to put on, but kind of a pain to take it off, but it does work. So you can see a better look at the frill here. It looks really nice. And here's a Dilophosaurus without the frill. So pretty much what it looks like when it's not killing people. And if we can attach this little piece here, and there we go. Dilophosaurus without the frill, or without an open frill. And here it is, just laying against the neck, which looks really cool. I like it. Looks a little awkward from this point of view, because these keep on sticking out when they should be kind of like laying against the skin, but you know, this is a toy, not a real animal. But other than that, this looks really good, and I can get a lot of cool pictures and just with poses of this animal, you know, with its frill down, like it's just peacefully walking, you know. So yeah, this looks really cool. Alright, I had to take a little pause there. I lied. The frill is sometimes hard to get on at certain points. Makes me wonder if I should just literally buy 2 of these and have one with the closed frill and one with the open frill. That'd probably be easier. But yeah, here it is with the frill back on. And I do like how you can actually move the frill however you want. This was a problem with the Amber collection, where the frill didn't really match up with the head very well, and it was kind of hard to kind of turn it. This one is a lot easier to turn. So yeah, that's basically it for the Dilophosaurus. We're going to move on to comparisons now. So we'll start off with our famous human figure, and obviously since we're talking about Dilophosaurus, why not bring in a famous victim of the Dilophosaurus? Here is our Legacy Collection Dennis Nedry from a Legacy Collection, I think a Dilophosaurus pack. And here they are, and I think they scale very nicely together. Obviously not the best representation of the Dilophosaurus in terms of size. The Dilophosaurus was definitely much smaller, like at least to here. But this makes for a good, maybe fully grown Dilophosaurus. I don't know, but I mean, it can work. I think it can work. It's not that big of a deal in my opinion. Now we just need a Dotson figure so that we can have all the victims of the Dilophosaurus all together. So yeah, that's our human comparison. Now we're going to compare it with other Dilophosauruses from Mattel. Here we got our normal, like, Attack Pack or Ferocious Pack version. This is Dilophosaurus that came with the Claire pack for the Dominion toy line, and this is obviously based off of the colors of the Dominion Dilophosaurus, which I love very much. Here they are together. I think they look very nice. Pretty much the same colors. I just guess the Dominion one has a little bit more dark patternings on its body rather than less, like the original. But yeah, they look really nice together. Obviously this one wins in terms of the best head sculpt. So yeah, they look really nice. Now we're going to get on with our other comparison, which is the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus. Now obviously this one's much bigger. This one's more in scale with the larger figures that came out, or that different size range. I forgot what those are called, but they're like the black series of the Jurassic Park toys. So I mean, this one could work for a full-on adult Dilophosaurus, but we have no evidence of Dilophosaurus being this big in the Jurassic franchise as of now. But yeah, they're very similar. Definitely would prefer this one. However, there are some things that this Dilophosaurus has that the new one does not. And that's, number one, a bigger frill. This one has a perfect sized frill, and this one has a little bit of a smaller frill, but I think it works, like I said, for what it is. But I definitely prefer a larger size compared to the head. And then another thing too is that this Dilophosaurus has wrist articulation, so you could pose it in a scientifically accurate position if you wanted to, which you can't really do that much here. It kind of looks awkward when you turn the arms that way. It kind of looks broken. And also, one thing that Mattel didn't add on this Dilophosaurus was that iconic white outline that outlines the dark patterns of the Dilophosaurus. These are present in the actual one from the first movie, and Mattel did not add those in this one, which is kind of a bummer. Kind of would look a little bit nicer, but not to the point where, you know, it never did look nice. I think it looks awesome the way it is, but yeah, I think they could have included the white stripe on there. But other than that, this one pretty much wins it for me. And now some last minute or last comparisons before we end this review are going to be the other Hammond Collection dinosaurs that I own. And that is the Parasaurolophus. I'll fix my camera in a second. Parasaurolophus and the Baryonyx. All great figures. Oops, sorry about that. And there we go. These are the only 3 Hammond Collection figures in my collection so far. There are a bunch out now, and there will be a whole bunch coming out next year. And I just can't wait to get a hold of all of them. They're going to be so much fun to take pictures with. But as of right now, these are the 3 I have, and I think they all look really nice together. I've already planned a picture that has to do with the Dilophosaurus and Parasaurolophus, so there you go. So yeah, that's it. That's gonna be it for this review of the Hammond Collection Dilophosaurus. I really love this figure. I think it's still the best Dilophosaurus from Mattel, and I just can't wait to see more figures from Mattel in the future, as always. I'm really loving their Hammond Collection toy line too. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys again for the next video.